Hey everybody, how you doing out there in TV land, YouTube land? Zez really isn't here. I'm sorry. It was a big joke. Are you gonna forgive me? For some reason, I went to the airport. He just didn't show up. I know. It's disappointing, isn't it? Okay. There we go.
Champion.
Oh, look at him. He's got the
the
ads.
stream started on my phone. Here we go.
He's got the ads.
I'm watching.
I've already got the ads.
Here we go, ladies and
Say
gentlemen.
goodbye to the jazz. That was it. You just got like 5 seconds of jazz. I'm cutting the jazz music off. We're going to go straight verbal only today.
We're
How's
going
everybody
forward.
doing?
How y'all doing? Welcome here. It is an absolute pleasure to be in the United States. In the bunker, it's a real place. It's not like some green screen thing that Steve been making up all along. It's like really real. I can vouch for it. No one's holding me hostage.
He hesitated there.
He's got it. He's got it. So we're here. We're happy to be. Thank you very much for everyone joining the stream. I see a bunch of you coming on now. The way Steve's got, it's very far away. I've got to look at my phone as well to see the chat.
You got to squint to see the
Yeah.
type on here. I know I have 2 monitors, but they're like a mile away.
Oh, I love it. Tucker had Putin, but we have Zez.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get into that. Tucker Carlson going to visit Vladimir Putin.
Speaking of unique visits, yes, Zez is in town. The lovely Shenandoah Valley of Virginia gets to have a little bit of a representation with the international crowd.
Yeah, man, I'm happy to be here. I've never been to this part of America before. I've been to maybe Atlanta a few times, big city, New York, who hasn't, but not like, I don't know, like smaller town America. I've just never spent a bunch of time here, right? And it's just like the TV shows. Oh my God, they've got all the same things. I don't know what I assumed because I've never been here before, but there's big stores, there's Wal-Mart, there's a high school, there's a middle school, there's a diner, there's big trucks, and I love it all. I want America. I want the biggest, dirtiest truck. I want the dirtiest meal at the diner. I want all the beautiful things America has to offer. And we had a nice morning today. Steve and I went to the diner, a real local place.
As local as it gets. So yeah, we've had a great time. First off, everybody, thank you Belmont for showing up and being our tool, our wrench carrier. I'm sorry, I'm joking. That just had to come out. Anyway, thank you for being our moderator. And my mic is a bit quiet. Okay, let me make sure.
I was going to say, comment on the tech, please. Should we zoom in a little bit?
Because this is all new stuff.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Can you zoom from here or not? Thank you. We're still ironing out our kinks here.
I can definitely turn the gain up. I can definitely zoom in some.
We sound like every Eastern Bloc kid in the 90s. I feel like Borat. I love America. I love all of your freedom. Give to me freedom money. That's
Welcome all. Hello.
So,
is that better? Can you hear me now? Okay, I think so.
You're a bit better now. You should be a little bit closer.
I see it. We've got us up.
Actually, I have to admit, I prefer having the headphones on. Maybe that's just the way we're used to talking to each other.
Yeah.
I'm used to hearing Steve in my headphones in my ear, not this live version that I'm seeing in front of me.
Oh,
and this is real as well, by the way,
this is vintage, baby. This is vintage, like LL Bean. I got this off a Dead Man, and I love it. So, anyway, yeah. How's everybody doing on this lovely Friday? I see there's a bunch of stuff going on in the chat.
So many people in the chat. I love it. Lil Pig, you should take Zez to Waffle House at 3 a.m. and let him fight for his life to get some breakfast. I love Waffle House. My friend in Atlanta was taking me there a bunch of times. It's my favorite. We went to a real local place today where I think that could happen.
Yeah, well, actually, the place, talk about that. I want to pull up this story about the place we went to. I'm going to try to find it on Google. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your experience
at the diner this morning?
Well, no, let's go with Waffle House, and then we'll jump in the diner if I can find this story.
I love all of this sort of dining, that you drive places, and I appreciate American people. You live here; it's part of your everyday, and so these things don't seem abnormal or weird. I love it. I want to get my big truck. I want to drive someplace down the highway, and then I want to go to a dodgy diner. I love I like Waffle House. The place we went today was like a real authentic small place, and Steve had this meat called scrapple, which I've never heard of before. It's basically the bits that are left over from the pig. So they cut all the good bits off the pig.
There's a lady that was serving at this place we went to today. Yeah. Yeah, right. So there you go. Scrapple. If anybody's aware of Scrapple,
so they get all the bits that are left over from the pig. They take off all the good pork chops and stuff, and then whatever's left, they just boil it down, condense it down into something, and eventually ends up like a pate. I think it's like hillbilly spam. It just comes in this big block, and you've got to chop off bits and fry it. I went for the sausage. I had a little of scrapple.
Yeah, I gotta have Scrapple every time I go to that place. It's like, but there was a time where I had it so many times in a row that I really started feeling ill. I think I was like my pigment was changing color, and I was like, I traced it all back to my
It's either going to be
abnormally large intake of Scrapple in a small subset of my life.
I would like to see you go to the doctor and like, well, Mr. Nutter, I think you've been having too many of those pig bits.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's exactly how it goes around here. Anyway, so I'm going to show you something. Yeah, the diner we went to, I actually Googled it. It's called the L&S Diner. And let me see. I should be able to press the right button. Wrong button. There it is. So this is it. Like, this is some old post from a couple years ago. This guy was like shot out back of this diner, investigating like a local hillbilly case of gangsterism. And like, there's a lot of stuff around here. Let's see. Of course, it's so far away. I can't really.
Yeah, stay in front of the mic. I can hear it when you're not in front of the mic. Yeah,
there, that'll help.
I'm keeping Steve honest by having the headphones on.
All right. So that's there's like stories. There's all these weird legends about this restaurant that we ventured off to today, and had a little bit of an experience with the locals.
It was great. So we sat down, and these two elderly people sat down next to us, and they're charming. And first of all, this dude, old lady, old man, and he's got the Trump hat on. So I'm like, right on. We've already found them. I love it. And we were talking. Oh yeah, that's right. So Steve starts having a polite conversation, and it turns out the old bloke knows who Steve's granddad is. Great granddad. Like, they've been around here for like 100,000 years, this family. And so he knew his dad, what he did, the industry that he worked in, and recognized him from that.
Yeah.
So that was a thing. And so they're talking, and I'm saying like, oh, I come from Australia, but I'm here. I'm with a company, and we're teaching leadership. That's what we do. And the old bloke, and he's like, well, you teach leadership. Maybe you should go down to Washington and help them down there.
Your South Park character just came out. That was awesome.
Says the man with the Trump hat on.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's very interesting, sir. But at the same time, the wife grabs her purse and bam, smacks him. And he's like, don't you start. Don't you start. Yeah. And I didn't get to hear the full Trump speech, unfortunately. I think she's heard it a few too many times.
Yeah, that was fun. So you definitely get the local... You got to feel a little bit of that local America.
It is like the wildlife,
the wild country here, right? So we did that. Oh yeah, and if you were on Twitter last night, they got to see us going out. I took you to, oh my goodness, I took you to the local and I had to laugh with Zez because I took him to the local watering hole, and there's not too many of them here, but it is a college town, and I was like, it's kind of hard. They're like this wild herd of gazelle or something, and you don't know where the herd's going to park it for the party night, which will be Thursday, Friday probably. And because it was kind of dead, right, when we walked into the bar. Sure. First, a lot of like in America when I was growing up, we called it a sausage fest, right?
I think it's still called a sausage fest.
Yeah.
Unless it's called a scrapple fest, that's even worse.
I think this would have qualified. The guys that were in there when we walked in, it would have been a scrapple fest.
Okay, yeah. The mixed meat.
It was, there was some mixed, it was like, and that's, no, that sounds wrong right there. The mixed, this is like getting off. Okay, anyway, go to the local watering hole. We sit around, we're having a couple beers, join some conversations. And, I don't know, man, other than like Moses parting the Red Sea, it was like we were sitting right at the bar right next to the door, and the doors would just flop open. And it's just like every Barbie doll, pretty girl was just like walking in for, it seemed like 35 minutes straight, like the rest of the night. So
that was the place. They were coming in.
All of a sudden, the sausage fest went to like reverse sausage fest. So there was like an even to maybe even more female ratio in the bar. And then I quickly looked around and realized that Lewis and I were definitely like, we were like the Willie Nelson crew of the bunch, wouldn't you say?
Sure. We were looking like the old timers. And I appreciate in that circumstance, if I look at me fine, I look like the old timer. And I understand that I have about 15 seconds. If I were to speak to a young lady, not that I'm going to, but if I was to speak to a young lady, I have about 15 seconds to open my mouth and attempt something in my charming Australian accent before I get deemed a creepy old dude. It's like creepy old dude, Australian accent. Maybe you could balance it out. Be like, no, mate, wait, chick, wait, nah, I ain't a creep. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Happily married, no funny business.
No funny business.
But it's always funny to just be out there and then just watch the element change and things like that. So it was better than. Oh, it's better than being in the wrong spot. So nothing crazy happened. We docked out of there pretty early.
Not too much. I've been getting up really early the last few nights. So Steve drove 2 hours to come and get me. I appreciate that. Thank you, Steve.
No problem.
He drove 2 hours to Dulles Airport to come and get me. We're here. It's really far away from a bunch of stuff. Right? We're not really through any major city here where Steve lives. But we've got Wal-Mart. We've got CVS. We've got the diner. What more do you need? We picked up Steve's kids from school. That was delightful. We went and picked them up.
You get to see some real deal. This will excite Bob since I just saw him put a chat.
Bob's in the chat.
Bob, we had some real life horse and buggy action here for Lewis.
Yeah, those things go faster than I thought they would. That thing had some speed to it, hooking down the road.
So yeah, there's a large Mennonite population nearby where my kids go to school, and they are constantly rolling through there on their
right. So Mennonite is like something like Amish. Maybe someone in the chat.
Yeah, like if you've ever seen the movie Kingpin, the bearded fellas from Kingpin, that Amish style community. They don't use electricity. They don't have motorized vehicles. They have horse and buggies. Yeah. And you got to dodge them, usually like running late for school, dodging on country roads. But yeah, I feel like you get to see, that's a good thing about around here. Like you get to see a little bit of a different thing as opposed to like other times before you got here when you were in like Atlanta and Dallas, big cities. And this is a completely different style. Yeah, Quakers would be a good.
They're similar.
Yeah,
similar
Zero
thing.
Sleep.
Okay.
Said the Quakers. That's a similar style of thing. You know, so
yeah. But then we went to some local farmers market, and it was like when I first walked in, it felt a bit surreal, like I was walking into a TV show set, like exactly what I would expect to see in some TV show.
It was like a good TV set,
and it was amazing. It was really beautiful. There was like local people making. We had fresh, soft pretzels, like fresh. Like you're gonna have to wait a few minutes, sir. They're coming out of the oven, and then they come out, and they were just to die for. Bob asked how many of the neighbors are they related to. Well, everyone knows everyone around here.
Man, like they were like, I think those people at the diner were going to start telling me more about my family than I knew.
Maybe, yeah. So I'm happy if you're in the chat, you got questions about America. Maybe if you're also a fellow European or something like that, I'd be happy to answer. Oh my God. Snuffer saw a flock of Amish in the elevator at Sears Tower. The elevator had an LCD with a talking cartoon character, and the Amish children were flabbergasted.
I don't know how they must have not had any option but to get an elevator. I bet they were griping about even having to do that. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
So this has been good. So I've had a nice trip here. I came for the first few days to Atlanta. I'm hanging out. A buddy that I went to school with lives in Atlanta now. He has a catering company, so we were eating a lot of good food. He knows the best places to go. He as a surprise to me, and I appreciate it very much, he took us to the Porsche experience. So in Atlanta, there's you can drive a Porsche, and they have a professional driver who sits next to you. So we did that for a day. It was a beautiful, sunny southern day. So I really liked that. Porsche experience is good. We had a good time. And then for the last 3 days before this, I was in Dallas and I was doing training. So another one of the jobs that I do is I'm a leadership instructor. We have an Estonian company called Combat Ready. We teach leadership, and I'm working with a bunch of military guys. I know a lot of you are familiar with this already. Bunch of ex-military guys. We teach leadership. And we've partnered with an American company called Echelon Front, who are fronted by a dude called Jocko. Maybe you've seen Jocko, the dude who gets up at 4:30, and the former Navy SEAL. He's a New York Times bestseller. So we're partnered with their company. So we were doing training with them in Dallas. JP Donnell was our trainer. Corey was another one of the staff that was working with us. Like, we were getting on the field with laser tag weapons, doing these maneuvers, learning leadership techniques. Our opposing force were like former Green Berets and Navy SEALs. And the idea is that you're out there and using these techniques to learn better leadership. So we did that for like 3 days in Texas. We were up every morning at 4:30, hitting the gym, and then running around in a field. We also did a day of classwork. So that was really cool. And yeah, now we're here with Steve. So I feel like I've really seen 3 separate Americas. Like, they're America, but they're different, and how different things are. That Atlanta, look, we were living the good life in Atlanta. My buddy's done well for himself, so we were living the good life there in the big city. Then in Dallas, Texas, down south, yeehaw, working hard with the military guys. And then here in Middle America with Steve, just like regular folks having regular lives. And this is the same country, but everyone's so different. And I'm enjoying that part.
That's good. It's a good mix. And yeah, Cole is hanging out here. Cole has grown quite fond of Zez. He's already been over there. He's probably sniffing all up his butt and stuff. So he's
I love dogs.
Good friends.
What do we got for this? So the Mennonites are space age Amish, where I'm from. They could drive blacked out cars with no amenities in them. Really? So the Mennonites can drive a car? Is that right? Or did I misunderstand?
Well, this is actually a funny conversation. So you've got the ones that are hardcore, like that are still driving around the buggies.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole different set of them. And these are the ones that are interesting to me, because when I sit there in the school line that you were in with me yesterday. Mm-hmm. So what we do is we first pick up my daughter, who's in elementary school, and she's in like second grade-ish. So we get her, and then we go over to my son's middle school and pick him up. And while we're waiting there against the main road in literally farm town is when we start seeing the Mennonites come through. But there is another version of the Mennonites. They come through on small buses.
Okay.
And you'll look at them and they'll all be just like Mennonites, and they're going to private Mennonite schools. And so we all call them, like with my kids, we call them the Modernites, because they're like the modern version.
They're
of the
allowed to have a
Mennonites.
car. They're allowed
and
to
so, yeah, but they're funny because they'll like look at the, like, they're so close to like, oh, they're like, oh, we're just one step closer to that public school lifestyle of not being, whatever
you've got.
They've got, I'm sure they've got tons of, rules and things they're not allowed to do.
Right, there are levels, as the Rice King says.
Yeah.
Snuffer was asking, am I former military? No, I am not. Which is the weird thing.
He's the odd wheel.
I'm the odd one out. So I, the way that I learnt these leadership techniques and the way they helped me was that I used to and still run a stand-up comedy production company. A lot of you know that. We run stand-up shows, and I was trying to find a way to lead my team. I was, like any leader, any company owner, struggling, not knowing what to do. And then I discovered this thing called the Jocko podcast, and I listened to this guy, and I'm like, these are good ideas. This stuff seems to work. And then it'll fast forward to about a year ago. I was hosting a conference in Estonia, and the next speakers were coming up. And then these 2 former special forces guys got up, and they have exactly that in Estonia. They're special forces guys. They made a consultancy to teach people in our local region. And I was like, I got to work with these guys. I have a background in training. Okay, a little bit presenting, as you know. So I started to work with them, and while they all have military backgrounds, I'm here to show that it doesn't have to be military. I've worked with creative people, artistic people, that it's not all about just barking orders. This is certainly not what the whole thing is. So, and yeah, I was training with other people from Echelon Front, this company, and they have many other non-military people. So it was good for me to hear things from a non-military perspective. I respect service. Amazing to be around yesterday, as I said, hanging around Berets, Navy SEALs, to learn from those guys. And I think also, I'm humbled that such people would even want to listen to an idiot like me and even think that my dumbass comedian experience would be relevant in such things. So I'm humbled by that. So did I understand, Rice King, you're a military, you are former, right in the chat, are you former, current, are you a vet? I didn't quite understand that one there.
Yeah, so, but I mean, you're obviously there to give a perspective that they want that's not
Hope so.
from, I mean, I think that's why you're there, and that's a good, like, I think it's a good thing for both of you and them that you're giving them a little bit different perspective than they would get from another.
I hope so. I think it's, and the last few days, though, helped me on my path to overcoming a bit of imposter syndrome, because you're hanging around these amazing people who've done amazing things in their life. So their support was really good. I don't feel quite. We'll always feel a little bit of imposter syndrome. It's a very natural human thing to do. I feel a little bit less. So we're getting there with those things.
Yeah, it's always a imposter syndrome. So yeah, what about it? Do you think you could see yourself living in America? Mike Wags asked.
Good sir, my good sir. Yes, and yes. I really could. I appreciate things aren't that easy to pack up the life, and let alone finding the work or the company or the income stream, and then a little thing called a green card. All these things present challenges, but I think I could. I enjoy Europe. I really love Estonia. I would never want to sever my connection to there, but I'm really done with Estonian northern winters. I'm done. I want some sunshine. I want some unjustified enthusiasm for Americans. They're just enthusiastic for no good reason.
Well, you should go to Florida then. You get sunshine all the time and get some real enthusiasm. There you get to everywhere. That's the beautiful thing about America. Everywhere you go, it's like something different. You're going to get a whole different bag of
So I really like this style here, the land of the free, a place where you can work hard and build something and possibly get something. Where I live in a very small country, it's easy to get connections, to know people. A week and a half ago, I was shaking hands with the president of Estonia as he was coming onto a stage that I was hosting at a conference, and he was giving the talk. And I had to be, welcome, Mr. President. Here's how you're going to walk onto the stage, Mr. President. And so you can have those things in a small country, but then in America, obviously not meeting the president very often. But there's so many other opportunities that come if you know how to work hard. So I think I'm ready for a bit of Americana. So let's see. Who knows what comes into the future.
Yeah, I mean, and I can speak to a little bit of my experiences, and I think a lot of people out there have experiences of either... America is an interesting kind of place in retrospective of looking back, just from the fact that I know that people from a certain generation would have, the ideal for America and Americana would have been to get some kind of job for like a big company and get this job and keep with this company for 30 plus an entire career practically, and somehow make it all the way up to this really high level, right? And then you have benefits, salary, blah blah blah, and that worked for like a certain time and a certain generation. But now, and this is something I've learned throughout just growing up and living in America, is that those opportunities are not the same like that anymore. Where there's been so many. Like, since I've come into the workforce in 2006 after graduating college, there's been so many like weird things that have affected jobs that it didn't matter. Like companies I went to where they laid off 75% of the workforce because the economy went so bad. And what are those people supposed to do in that meantime? And so you get, thrown off into a different place. And so now the more modern thing to do is you still have the ability to build your own thing or attempt to do that in America. And if it works, and you can figure it out along the way that you can make, kind of your dreams work. And it's a lot of times now it's more of doing something on your own as opposed to doing it that old fashioned way of, getting that corporate job.
Keeping the mic in front of Steve. I would say that my observation so far, and I appreciate I've just got a sample size of a couple of weeks and the friends that I'm talking with. If you can make your own company and make your own thing, all the people that I know, Steve, you run your own thing. My buddy in Atlanta runs his own thing. The people in Dallas I was with, they're people who are making their own companies, who are making it happen. And you don't, because of this super large population size here, you don't have to expand to the whole country. You can work a region, and that's just fine, whatever industry that might be. Or thankfully, Steve's a specialist, so a lot of people will come to him. My buddy in Atlanta just caters around Atlanta, and that's more than enough work to grow a very successful company even in that area. And I like that idea because the thing is, in Estonia with a very, very small population, there's just not, you max out the market really quickly. So my buddies and I, let's say there's 6 of us who are professional leadership consultants in Estonia. Estonia does not need 6 professional. There's not enough work for 6 of us in that small country. So we've got to expand. We've got to go to another place. To kind of put it into perspective about what a small country's like, 1.3 million people. What I want you to do, dear Americans who are watching, think about what around your region has 1.3 million people. Is it your town? Is it the greater area that you're in? Is it the city? It's not a lot by your comparison. Where's is it just the city, or maybe your city is several times already that? So for that amount of people, we have a president. If you got the mayor of 1 million people, I bet you they're pretty dicey.
Okay, yeah. So just to give it a perspective, and first off, thank you, Felipe Osa, for the $5 super chat. He says, hi to Lewis. Welcome finally here. Yes, absolutely. And great, John Zini's right. Please, everybody, do hit the like button for us. This is, we're trying to get back into the swing of these shows, so definitely helps when you do that. If you hit the like button, it does help the algorithm go. But a town that I lived near that is even bigger, it would be Nashville. Like Nashville was a good sized city. Now I'm looking at population numbers. That's 2.1 million now, and that's another. I mean, that's almost double what you have.
So imagine Nashville. Imagine Nashville had a president, and Nashville had national borders. Imagine Nashville.
Or half of Nashville, not even Nashville. Half of Nashville.
Half of Nashville had a seat at the United Nations.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we get. It's so weird. So weird.
That's awesome.
So Felipe, brother, thank you very much for doing that. We got John Zini in the chat. Thank you. Good to see you, sir.
Yeah, a lot of people here. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and saying stuff. And like I said, we're hanging out. We are filming some stuff and trying to film a fun little video, and then we'll do a cool sit-down podcast when we can relax a little bit.
Yeah, so we're planning a few. So we'll do some live streams. We're not sure how many.
Might do some goofy little things. Yeah. I'm not sure. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do.
We're filming a bit. But we will have one proper sit-down on the couch podcast, a couple drinks. Pre-recorded, not live stream. We will have one of those.
We're gonna shock YouTube, a lot like that Club Shay Shay and Cat Williams did, right? Do you even know? Are you the one person who didn't watch that?
No, what is that?
You know who Cat Williams is?
Oh, it's like
the comedian.
Comedian, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't. It was just a 3-hour podcast he did with Shannon Sharp, the football player, and it was viewed 100 million times.
Right. Okay. I mean, I
just
doubt
took off.
This is not going to be.
That's a joke.
This is not going to be.
Is it probably the
Joe
only people
Rogan,
who didn't
Elon
watch
Musk style? It won't
it's
quite
not going to be
that.
You don't think it's going to? Well, we'll see.
Might blow up. You never know. There's enough people here.
There's
Thank
always
you
hope.
very much. Good.
That's Stefan C asked, any chance of a complete bunker tour? I actually think that's a good idea as part of the video we're shooting, where you kind of check out the perspective of Zez maybe walking through all this, plus I have a storage unit and him kind of doing things, and I'm being like, yeah, that's this, and he's like, oh, what do we have here, kind of thing, and let him lead it, as opposed to me going through and talking about every single whatever.
Oh, thank you to Martin. Thank you, sir.
Look at him go,
contributing
Martin.
His socialism to us. He's got some socialism bucks for us.
100 donks. 100
How many
kings.
donks? What's a donk? It's like $10
crowns.
or something.
Yes, you're the man. Thank you.
Danish
Guys,
crowns.
Where's
yes.
the beers? Here's some socialism bucks. You need to fix this.
Right, but what's the conversion rate? Someone in the chat tell us what is 100 socialism Danish welfare
I
state
don't know.
bucks.
It's too much though. Martin doesn't ever have to give me anything. He's given me so many goodies over the years, and so I appreciate it though.
Thank you very much, sir. So yeah, even just coming in yesterday, we roll up in Steve's big white old pimpmobile, cruising down the highway, roll into his garage. The garage opens up, whoop, and inside are just 4 or 5 of the biggest CRTs you've ever seen in your life. 27-inch, 34. Is a 32-inch PVM?
No, yeah. There's a 32-inch PVM. There's a 32-inch JVCD series and a 36-inch Trinitron. So there's 3 pretty big monsters. Hey, Rice King, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. He says, I appreciate you guys sharing your experiences.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Rice King. He did describe in the chat he's a vet.
Okay.
Has done a number of tours. So thank you very much for your service, Rice King. Appreciate that, man. Okay. Brandon Arnold in the chat, getting a little confusing. No, sir. So I am Australian, born and bred, but I've lived for the last 15 or so years in Estonia in Europe. So I've got a very different perspective, all the way from down under, that style, to the full-on socialism Europe, and here we are in the land of the free. 32-inch PVM. It is right.
Yeah. So this one is it's not mine. No, it's a client's, and unfortunately, what happens is, this house that I'm in, I can't. I mean, I don't really bring CRTs that are. I have to work downstairs. Mm-hmm. I don't really bring CRTs that are over 20 inches downstairs. In the fears that I will fall down the stairs or I'll, hurt myself. And over 27 inches won't even fit down the stairs. So if they're over 30 inches, they have to stay in the garage, and we're coming off the edge of winter here in America. So if they're not consistent days, basically over 60 degrees, and it's not getting freezing temperatures in the night, I don't open up CRTs and start working on them. So they've all just been accumulated here, and they're in the queue, to get restoration and repairs done. But we'll definitely show them off.
But now we're getting to the time. Do you think you will get to them this summer, like realistically?
Oh, no, realistic. No, they are like hot on my plate. Like all 3 of them have been here too long, and it's just a pain. I need to get them done, and it's like, I mean, they're just so big. I can't if you get that cold temperatures with glass, it's very bad for it. And I would hate if I was working on something and it just like popped, on the thing. So yeah, shout out to the Cathode Ray podcast, right? I see some people in there with the Cathode Ray boys. Shout out, right?
Appreciate
to the old
that.
school. So here's some things. Check this out. I actually got sent. Did people get sent this link about this BVM? It was like an A32, right? Wasn't that what we were looking at last night at dinner or the bar or what? An A32 that sold for $10,000.
Oh yes,
$10,000.
Well, it was in the UK.
It was in the UK. It was a UK auction. It was a BVM A32, and so 32-inch widescreen, multi-format, last generation CRT from Sony. How many more descriptive words should I add there? That's say that a dozen times. But sold for $10,000. Right.
So it was £8,000 for this unit, plus
like a commission to the auction site that the buyer paid an additional like 10 or 15%. So it was like 9 something.
Sure,
pounds,
by the time you did the
9,000.
conversion. So first of all, Tony Escobar, thank you very much, sir. $20. $20. Oh, and I looked it up. Martin's 100 Danish is $15.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's about 100 DKK. Well, it's like a cup of coffee in downtown Copenhagen, is it? So it's nothing to him. Those prices, but thank you. That's a full buffet lunch for us here in small town America. You feed us tonight.
Well, the boiler just kicked on.
Okay, can you guys hear this background noise? This big rumbling boiler came in the background.
I was concerned because I'm concerned if I turn it off, if it won't turn back on.
Oh yeah, we should do it. Also shouting out to Tarek in the stream. He lives in France and he's got a problem with his PVM 2130. I'm sorry, brother. There's not much, unless you would have the funds to fly me from Estonia to France to work on your PBM. That is the difficulty, right? These things are so big.
That's the dream, though. I mean, because it's better than flying Steve from America.
Sure.
That's easier.
You can have the second-rate guy like me. The main guy doesn't.
You got to have, again, we'll branch off. I had, Martin said that Steve saying 27 inches won't fit downstairs is already his favorite quote from the stream. Yeah. Oh, I asked for that one.
We need, because the whole underground bunker here, the only way you can access it is through quite a steep stairwell, and it's amazing. Steve's got a big red Neo Geo cab out back here.
Oh my gosh.
And it's something amazing because it's only one way. I mean, it's only ever, when you
no,
one day if you leave this house,
I can get it out.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's right. You can get it out, but only maybe if you leave the house one day.
Oh right, yeah, no,
right.
I'm not moving it. It's not moving until I'm leaving the house. Oh man, look at Little Pig with a $40 super chat. Thank you.
Oh, Little
Lunch
Pig,
is on me,
thank
fellas.
you, sir.
Most of it anyway. Absolutely, yeah.
Appreciate
that's
that.
something we should mention. That actually would buy lunch around here. What have you thought about the prices of us when we go out places around here compared to how much it would cost out at other places?
Sure,
like
pretty
when
good.
we went out to the bar last night.
Yeah, that was $60, but that was like 3 meals.
That was 3 meals and like probably a half a dozen beers.
Yeah, $60 is good. The pretzels, we had pretzels for Steve, myself, his kids. They ate a bunch. $20. Very good. So yeah, you can see country, city, how things differ.
Right, it's a lot. Get a lot of that in there, but yeah, it's
adjust my screen so it doesn't time out here on me. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys being so enthusiastic for this trip, and that it's a little bit surreal to finally be on the other end of the camera, and Bob will love this, and no lag. No fucking lag.
That's right.
Lewis is 100%. There's zero lag. Whip out your time sleuth, because Lewis is no lag today. 0 milliseconds.
Oh my goodness, yes.
We've had a lot of problems in the past because I'm the one with the far away European internet. So
right. So here's the thing. Yeah, Martin, it's crazy. There are literally, you go down and you get, these pretzels are not just like pretzels. Let's mention this. These are the best pretzels that, if anybody said, where can I get the best pretzel? I would say this, and then there's probably somewhere in like New York City that somebody knows about that's really good. But these girls, they sit there and they make it from like dough. They make the dough. They pull the dough out. They hand roll it and bake it and pull it out. And it is like amazing. And they're $2 a piece. That's the thing. $2 each.
And the ladies, I would say, I'm trying to find the correct words to be respectful. Like, they're dressed in like, you look like they might be Mennonite gowns, yeah, religious.
If you look up a Mennonite gown, they've got a hat.
Little
they all
bonnet
wear
thing.
it at all the different stands because it's a Mennonite. Lewis was laughing when he showed up because I said, Lewis, there's where you park your horse.
Right.
There's where you park your horse. And it was just literally like an old Western wall of stalls. And he was like, well, you could tell it was been used because there's fresh piles of manure at each stall that like had been there from the morning.
Like when Steve said, hey, this is where you can park your horse, I thought it was like a joke. Or just maybe in the old days, that's where it was. That's where you park your horse. And then you look on the ground, fresh horse poop everywhere. Like that had clearly been used. Someone has rolled up to this Mennonite farmer's market on their horse, got a fresh pretzel, and then rode off into the sunset.
Oh yeah, that is even better. Right. If you're like, oh man, I'm riding the horse for 10 miles. I'm gonna stop and get a pretzel halfway.
Want to thank Jake is the way black. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you contributing to Lewis's Waffle House.
Says, hey Lewis, welcome to the USA. What is your favorite difference in cultures so far between Estonia, Australia, and America?
Culture shock.
Any culture shock? Have you had any culture shock?
I wouldn't say culture shock because I've come here for America. I want all your American freedoms just all over my face right now. After living through a pretty rough Northern European winter, I'm sure Martin can attest. You got these long periods. Where I was in Estonia, we basically went 6 weeks over December with no sunlight. No sunlight. Just the sun comes up, but it's all cloudy. So this does start to affect, and I want to also apologize to all you people out there. I so appreciate you follow us because I haven't been posting, haven't been making videos, and when I'm in that environment, I don't feel very good over the winter, and I don't feel like talking. So I was very happy to come here. I because this guy lives all the way out the but fuck, I have to like get all these expensive flights to get here. But I didn't care. I knew I was coming to Steve so we could have this moment. And I just want that unbridled American enthusiasm that some random person's just talking to me and I met the guy with the Trump hat. I don't mind. I'll listen to his Trump speech. Doesn't bother me. I don't like that. Maybe I should. Maybe
It's
we
America,
should
though. That's what I'm saying.
not?
And then there would be. I mean, that's the fun thing. I like to go out and talk to everybody. I'm not going to go there. I mean, that's the fun part. And I think that you getting to experience all this stuff on one like short little business trip. I believe that you're taking the most of this opportunity, which I am firmly for. And totally trying to embrace, and all that I'm endeavoring on is like you just got to be ready for those opportunities and make the most of them when you're actually in America. And I feel really great that you're getting to experience different things, different cultures. You're going to get to have a lot more fun. We're going to go to the like biggest college basketball game in this area. I know it sounds like not that much, but here there's going to be 8,000 people. Hopefully the crowd, it's like 50-50, man. Sometimes it gets full and like they all sit on their butts. Sometimes it gets full and they get rocking and it gets so loud that you feel like, your ears are going to pop. But we're going to have a lot of fun at that basketball game here. And so that should be exciting, and still got a lot more going on.
That's Saturday, right?
Saturday,
We're going to this huge basketball game. And you said that stadium holds about 8,000 seats.
Yeah.
The biggest stadium in Estonia holds about 8,000 seats.
Okay.
So this sounds about right. We don't have anything bigger than this either.
Okay.
So we're going to this huge thing. And as it just dawned on me last night, Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, what better exercise in freedom could there possibly be than Super Bowl Sunday? You don't have to be there. You just got to be at any old bar, even if we're down here in the bunker just drinking a few beers.
Right. No, I was thinking about how much fun it might even be to just have like our live stream going like this during the Super Bowl and just be kind of, who cares? Like we can watch it right behind us, chat. I mean, what else are we going to be doing, right? We could do this some. So maybe we'll actually just hang out and be like, we'll try to put on a show for the people who are for some reason won't be watching the Super Bowl.
That's a thing. Like to
maybe we could do that and we could commentary
some,
on it. We could do something cool. I don't know. We have so much tech here, Lewis. Like what are we missing out on? What could we rip apart during Super Bowl?
We have my European friends will know of, probably in America, Eurovision, right? The song contest that happens every year. And what my friends and I would do typically in Estonia is you put the Eurovision on, but then we do the live stream. So you turn down the music, you don't have to listen, and then we commentate over the top.
What we might even be able to pull off down here? I bet I could broadcast the game to like that CRT, and we could watch it. And there's like no way that like the algorithm would catch
it's too small,
that, right? Yeah. And it would probably be blinking a little bit.
We could have a little screen there, so we could watch
like a little CRT here. I mean, we might and then we'll just be like, maybe we'll turn it down and we'll just do like commentary, like, oh yes, I love you, Travis. Oh, you did such a good catch there. Oh, Taylor, so great. Yes, please dance up and down. Oh, now show my drunk brother getting crazy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got to get the shot off.
So and then maybe we'll rip our clothes off, have a few beers. I did get about 30 Guinnesses, but I don't think you like dark beer, do you?
No problems. I can drink it. It was just last night. I wasn't. Edgar Paws was saying you got to watch the Super Bowl on a CRT. Steve's lounge room upstairs, which is outside of the realm of the bunker, there is a 27-inch.
No, that's 32-inch.
Pardon me.
Because that's what I can fit it upstairs.
32-inch.
Toshiba.
Toshiba
it's one of the best
in his lounge room.
Yeah.
So it's a total possibility that somehow or another we could be.
Oh, it'll be on. It would be on. Oh yeah, we'll watch it up on. It'll be playing on upstairs on the CRT. I already have that stream set up, and got it down here on the plasma, and I could wire that right on over to anything.
We got some options.
Yeah.
So we got the basketball game on Saturday, Super Bowl Sunday, Monday recover, Tuesday I already have to leave and head back home. Pardon me. So we've got some opportunities.
Yeah, and so here's the other thing we were thinking about, and I've been thinking about, maybe we can do this Monday, depending on what's going on. Thanks, Jake. Gave us another $20. Said, sounds like you guys are going to need a bunch of beer money.
Thank you very much.
Live stream drinking party. Yeah, we'll do something, like I said, like that will be fun. And who knows, maybe we'll come in like one night and come in and be like, oh, let's just crank it on.
Just turn it on.
But that would only be like tonight or tomorrow night.
Right.
After the game, maybe. Who knows? If it's like an epic finish to that ball game, you might be like jumping up and down, and we might need to release some.
We might need to get the energy out. Yoda's there. Ariel Aces in the chat. Good to see you, my friend. Appreciate your support very much. You're very helpful and excellent in the support role there. And Yura, no, it's just a regular CRT. It's not even a HD CRT.
The fun thing is though, if we want to, maybe that would be an interesting twist to our little video. We could go over to the storage unit, and you could like pick out a CRT from there, and then we could like make that be part of the story. Us bring it back to the house and set it up to watch the Super Bowl on or something.
It's like, Daddy, can we get a CRT? Daddy, we're going to the CRT store.
Yeah, there you go. We'll use the 5-inch PVM for the Super Bowl, like Martin said. We'll just or how about the black and white like security monitor? We'll put it on there.
Yeah, there's quite some to see these things up close here. So okay, that's the 8-inch there, the 5-inch PVM there. Yeah. What was that before? What's the one without the shell up there?
So there's a PVM.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, here.
Okay, but we can keep it lower. It's all right.
Well, maybe I'll be able to just pull this camera up.
Oh, we got extra. But the Sony Watchman there, the Sony RF demodulators. They are RF demodulators, aren't they?
Which one?
They turn RF into composite. These ones here, don't they? Under the PCE, yeah.
So these are. Do you remember those boxes that Roger told us about that went really nuclear hot? I'll pull this back.
You mean
over.
the market that you manipulated to make them?
Yeah, the market I manipulated. These are like another version of those boxes, but they suck because they are super proprietary. Actually, the ones I found some that had already been modified. Some.
Why does it matter if it's proprietary? It takes an RF,
this particular unit, basically, all it has. You see these inputs that are here? Those 3 have been added. Like. By hardware, hardware added. Like if you get, because I bought one of these brand new, and it has none of these. That one is also modified. Oh, okay. Because the new one, I think it is. Yeah, that one's also modified.
The same modification. So this is meant to be RF to composite, right?
RF or composite in here. Oh. Okay, and then it spits out your video for composite through this like 8-pin DIN connector. So let me show.
Wait, sorry. It's RF in. TV tuner. It's RF in, composite out.
But here, let me go get the one that's see how dumb this is originally.
Okay, because I don't understand. These were tuners meant for PVMs and so forth for the professional screens.
Like
so Steve's got another one. Of course he's got a third one.
Not only that, look, this one's in the original box.
Oh, new in box. Okay.
Doesn't that just turn you nerds on? A new inbox TV tuner from Sony.
Forget the wrestling. You got a chair that looks like it could be part of wrestling.
So if I open this up, we'll be able to see a brand new thing here. So this is, it even has the, it's TU like 1110. But that'll show you kind of what I'm talking about. It literally goes with basically 3 CRTs that were designed from Sony because they have this cable.
Oh, okay.
That goes from a certain monitor that connects to this. So you need
a special cable for it.
Yeah, because it's got, look at the power is the same cable. Like it gets power from the CRT. See, this one has no modifications. Brand new. See how it just has... So this one here...
Just has RF.
Just has RF in...
And this weird proprietary...
This proprietary, like, DIN. A proprietary DIN and RF in. And the proprietary DIN is out. But that's also where you're getting... What does it say? Like 8 volts? You need 8 volts DC or something?
It just says... Well, it says plus B.
Oh, plus B. That's it.
What does that even mean?
That's the voltage. That's the positive leg of the voltage, I'm thinking.
So do I understand that this video, RF comes in, sure, it's demodulating and then sending out a composite signal via this, well, kind of proprietary? I don't think it's... No, that's not proprietary. That looks a lot like a Genesis 1 style mini DIN.
Yes.
Very similar to Genesis 1.
It's a 6-pin.
Right.
6-pin DIN. So one of those pins is is the E, which I'm guessing is ground.
Okay.
B plus would be the power, and then you've got audio and video. And so these that have the modification, which ones I bought, for some reason I bought 3 of these stupid things, right? So this has been modified by somebody to see. It's just got a rudimentary where they've tapped in lines and added a mono audio that's to stereo.
Oh, okay. Just in case I left and right. Yeah.
BNC.
Which was going to be my next question.
So you could use this with anything, but then you'd have to come up with a way to get the power and negative into this.
Sure.
So you'd have another adapter you were making
You'd
from
have to
that
make up
cable.
your own six pin to go in.
To get
But is
power
that,
into it.
If I've understood all of this correctly, this means that composite audio and video come out of this 6-pin, but power also goes in.
No, it comes out too Wait, you're right. Right, that's where the power would go in.
Is that? I don't know enough about electronics.
And that would come out, and so that's designed to go with this PVM that has this same DIN on the back of it, where it's sending and receiving on the same end of that PVM. It's sending power out of that, and then it's also receiving the video that comes out of it.
Now, is that normal to have a plug that has both directions? Like any signal, but both
these
directions?
The thing is, these were like the early 80s, 85 and earlier. Do not buy it, Martin.
So you need to wire it up. But maybe some people in the chat, what are some other examples of plugs that go...
but a good idea would be to just make my own
power plug.
Just
put your own barrel jack on it.
And literally just put it like that.
Because
I never even thought about that.
The 8-bit plug that it's coming out, it's very simple. It's just a Genesis DIN style.
And it probably does a good job once you do that, but you have to do a bunch of work. If Martin wants to do another project, he loves making projects for himself.
So, Martin, this is a demodulator. This takes in RF, and then you set the channel on the front, and then it outputs composite. So that's a demodulator, right?
Yeah, it's so
that's D.
Right, you're gonna tune the channels. No, it's a tuner, right?
It's a tuner, but that makes technically that's called demodulation.
Okay,
is it? Or I'm double checking.
I don't know. I just know
it's not modulation. It's D because you're demodulating from the RF signal. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Jake is filling in. Yeah, a demodulator. It isolates each signal and separates.
Specifically with this PVM.
Sure.
The 1910. And the 1911, which I've only ever seen those when I went to the. They had a bunch of them at the museum in Houston, and a couple, and that's the only place I've ever seen ones that actually worked.
So maybe someone in the chat also, just who maybe knows a bit more about electrical engineering than me, can chime in on like how common is it to have a plug to any sort of device, but it's got inputs and outputs on the same plug. I mean, power. It just sort of seems. I don't know, maybe it's not that weird. The other thing that you could do with such a box, I would imagine, is you could probably make some breakout dongle for this. So you could just wire up a Genesis 6-pin, and then one would be for a barrel jack, which would be sending the power in, and then 2 other female RCAs. I was saying, Steve, you could also just wire a dongle onto that, potentially, and that would be another solution. Sure. There. If you didn't want to do the physical modification.
Tuner is a demodulator.
Okay, yep, Martin's got it.
The T1040, that might be the other one that I have here somewhere. I have so many things.
Yeah, wait, you've got, this is...
I don't know, that one's the 1110.
That's 111. And
that one's the same. That's the same exact one.
Sure. It is, correct.
But... Yeah.
So what's different about this 1041 model or the 1040?
That one has has its own like regular power in, right?
Oh, okay.
It's more like Extron.
So yes, as Martin is alluring to, if you're not familiar with the backstory, Steve made one or a number of videos about this device. And it went from $20 to $120 on eBay over the course of that last few months. So Steve is he's an evil YouTube market manipulator. Oh, that's the full long one. That's meant to go with the 8-inch.
This one goes, as you can tell, right under. It's built to go right under an 8-inch PVM. It's made for that exactly.
I had a chance to buy one of those a few years ago, and I passed for, I don't know, $50, and I regret.
So this one, you can see they've made this much more user-friendly on this one. Let me show you. I'm going to get close in here, but there's a battery door that's the same battery door as the 8-inch series PVM has. Same battery door. And then you've got a AC line in, which is the standard AC line in. And then, of course, you've got the regular connections. There's no proprietary thing on this one.
Right.
BNC.
Just
And
BNC.
then there's this line S system, which is just an old Sony thing. This is the one, though, that, I made a video about it. And, it's one of those things. There's another example of a relic I've got up here on the list that's even worse than that one. The worst, I think this might be the worst contender that I've ever screwed up. The worst tool I've ever pumped to oblivion.
Oh, you mean that you manipulated the market on this, and now no one can buy these things anymore?
You want me to grab it for you? You all know. Some of you may know what it is.
What? Show us. What do you mean?
Okay.
Right, Steve, 100%, all on his own. Steve is responsible for the price rise in CRTs in the last 5 years. Oh yeah,
this little device, this tiny convergence lens, the Klein convergence lens. I got this in the box. I got it from eBay. When I bought it, I think I paid $50 for the thing. I paid $50 for it. It came with documentation, shows you how to work it. It's crazy. You can see it on a screen.
So when I look into it, I see a blue, a green, and a red.
It's got a lens in it that separates colors into red, green, and blue. It's lensed. So you put that against your tube and you go all white beam and you can see the separation of each. Because an all white beam is the combination of red, green, and blue. So you look through that lens and you see each color individually. It blocks, it only lets through the red, only lets through the blue, and only lets through the green. And then there's these little dials on the side that you can move and you can manipulate. You can manipulate one color on the right and one color on the middle or left. And then the one in the middle stays the same. The green is always the same. But that's supposed to tell you how much it's out of range. You can see there's a scale on here. So you're like, oh, because you move this and it's going to manipulate the image so you can line that up. And you could say, well, I don't know. There must have been some lost knowledge maybe even between this tool and how to go in and say like, oh, it's I don't know. It's like you're reading the seas for a navigational point and somebody was good. It's like, all right, governor. Crank it 3 turns there to the right and you'll have perfect convergence in corner number 4.
So how else to do it? Eric was saying a little jeweler's lens might be able to do something similar.
That's what you need to do now because this thing has become a ridiculously expensive item. I'm going to look it up right now. We're going to see what they're going for live here on eBay because the last time I checked they were in the highly... And then the problem is I make a video talking about how cool they are like 5 or 6 years ago now. And then, they become so expensive. And then I feel bad because now people ask me, I guess I should just make a video called Stuff I've Pumped and It's Time to Dump or something, right? It's time to dump it and just get over it. And like I said, take the alternative because this was a good thing until... 1,000 people start looking for it, and then they're all gone, and then it's expensive. So let's.
So Snuffer was saying that he bought a jeweler's loupe. Is that the name of it?
It's just loupe. So it's like a jewelry owner's tool to help you see. And again, it does the same thing. It blocks colors.
But it's he says it's kind of blurry, so maybe it's not designed because it's not specifically designed for a screen.
Yeah, and I think there's obviously going to be different qualities of those loupes.
Sure. Actually, bring that one up.
Yeah.
Just a little more in front of your face.
Cool. All right, let me see here. What is that? Say Klein convergence tool. That's what I need to look up.
So let's see how much Steve has
if they're even
manipulated this market. Are there any even for sale? Because that's the thing. If there's only
oh my gosh, they're not
X number of these for sale. I mean, so what? He makes a video and the 3 that are available get sold.
I mean, there's not even... Oh, there's one.
There's one.
Oh,
300!
Here's a couple of them. Yeah, look at this. Okay. Oh, look, one like this is good. Here, I'm going to show you all.
CIB
This is just ridiculous.
Complete in box.
See, and I cannot recommend this. I cannot, like, if I would, there's no way I would ever buy it for this. Let me show you, lovely people at home. There you go. Look at that. $390, $430, $525. And that's American US dollars. And this one, yeah.
So that has the 525 on. Has it got like a box or something, or a little carry
Yeah,
case
this
or
one's
something?
got all the stuff like mine has.
Yeah, okay.
See,
Klein,
so
is
this
it
one's
there?
actually like brand new.
Yeah, that's why. Okay. This is where if Steve had OnlyFans, this would be on his wish list that some simp dude could buy it for him, and Steve would get
baby. All I need is one more sugar daddy, and I can acquire this.
If you buy this for Steve, he will ASMR in your ear.
Did this weirdo like block out?
Oh yeah, he's like.
Oh, I've manipulated the image so you can't see the original serial number.
Serial number? What information would that be? Why would you need to block out the serial number on a 40-year-old
it's
device?
just been like sharpied over.
Okay.
But man, yeah, it's been scratched
off.
off.
Oh, just whoever. Okay, they've scratched it off there. Oh no, because it says property of. That's not it. See,
they took off the property seal.
Okay.
Oh,
my
dirty bastards.
My 20-inch BVM still has like property of the production company, and I'm not taking it off.
Yeah, and another good point is this tool is just going to piss you off because you're going to use it, and it's just going to show you how bad you're going to want to look at convergence on everything if you spend $600 on the thing.
Yeah, sure.
You're going to be busting it out just trying to look at the like a solar eclipse. See if there's any misconvergence in the sun. All right, let's keep rolling.
It's just a device. There's not that many of them
it's literally
out there
a
to begin
lens.
with.
Good grief.
Right.
That might have been how much it was new, right?
Oh, Martin's chipped in with another 50 Danish crowns. Thank you, sir. That's about another $8.
I'm on a delay because I'm not seeing that yet. Nice. Thank you. There it goes. Thank you. Thank you, Martin. We're almost up to our dream list of getting this thing.
Oh, and we've got 75 people watching as well. Thank you very much. Please
have fun.
Like and subscribe. Hit that like button. That really does help. If you've got a moment there. So
the like button helps a lot, especially for this live show because. So yeah, anytime, guys. Even if it's all you could do, just hit the like button. That's awesome. It does help.
We appreciate that.
If you don't like it, then you can hit the dislike button too.
Let's look up Steve then. What these TU 1110.
I don't think those are going to be very much. Let's check out though the 1040s.
This is the next one that Steve has potentially manipulated.
1040s, yeah.
Okay, the 1040 is the big.
That's the one that.
This is the 1040. This is the big long
1040.
one. And again, let's
see if that even shows up if I just type that in.
It's so interesting that that's in black as well. PVMs are not in black.
No, they aren't.
Like, why did they decide to make this particular unit?
It's that sexy black
PS2
era.
It looks great, but why no other PVM is in black? So let's see what these are up to because these went up a little bit.
Ooh, see, we're getting back where they're. Well, these are the ones that I'm telling you. These are the ones you don't want. Oh, this one is. I've never seen this one.
It's got a bit of
this
usage.
One's worn.
Oh, that's a full size one.
But it is one. No, that's. Does this one look the same? That one is rough.
I mean, it's a bit rough conditions with some tape.
Oh yeah, that's the right unit. It's just got gray buttons.
Yeah,
and it's not black, dude. We found the variant that matches the PVM. You
should buy it.
It's the. Shut up! I'm not buying any more of these tuners.
Well, no, it's $25 plus. Okay, 18 delivery, so it's going to be
tax. So you're going to get $50.
$50 by the end.
I'm not buying another one, Lewis. I have 5 here I don't use, just because I don't need another one. But somebody could buy this. This is a good deal.
You can search eBay right now and find this.
And this one is a different variant. We were just laughing, saying the black ones. These are the ones that match the actual scheme and color of the PVM itself. But so they're not. They've come down. All right, that's about how much I paid for them originally. $70.
70.
Here's the ones that kind of jumped. Like this person had 100 of them, and they went from like 30, and then they went up to 130.
Sure. So
but they've come back down to 90 because you can see how this person has 14 of them.
Yeah.
They probably have 100 of them.
They're not moving. I mean, yeah, the video comes out. There's a lot of popularity. Probably
the video came out and they sold like 50. And then they raised the price to $100 more and probably sold 5 more, unfortunately.
Right.
And then it's come back down, and they're not selling as many at 90. They're just leaving it.
And that bloke wants $27 for shipping.
Yeah, some of them are expensive.
Okay,
Shipping's expensive.
From New Jersey, really? Just to ship that from New Jersey to here?
Dude, well, fuck. You ever been to New Jersey? You ever try to get something out of New Jersey? Shit.
Yeah, look
Sorry
at
for
Bob.
somebody's going to get mad about my
Bob.
language.
Bob got out of New Jersey.
No, yeah, into Connecticut, which is like, there's some place you need to go check out sometime. You need to come down to check out the mean streets of Hartford, Connecticut, at one time to a convention, because you can see that once you get about a block away from the Marriott, you need to be packing that bulletproof vest you got in there, like 50 cent, you know?
So we know that these TV tuners have come back down in price. It's like that as well. I'm so that people that are just willing to hold on to something for a long time to get, I don't know, 50 extra bucks or something like that. And I think I told you the story, but there are a few Bang & Olufsen CRTs in Tallinn, and I just haven't moved them because I just haven't. It's the middle of winter and I haven't got a truck and all that stuff. And then I'm going to have to deal with a Bang & Olufsen TV. But yeah, this one dude wanted like 150 for it. And I was like, bro, I'll give you 50. And he's like, 100. And I'm like, why? Like, you just have this big lunk of thing in your storage and it's just sitting there. And I was already 6 months. I've been watching, at least 6 months, I've been watching this ad before I contacted him. And it's still there. And I actually spoke to him and said, hey, if you think it's fine to just sit in your storage, that's okay. If you would like someone to take it off your hands, I'd be happy to take it off your hands. And if you're real happy for it to sit in your storage room, I guess you can sit around waiting another 3 years to get $50 from it.
Yeah, that's kind of that's the problem, I think, with some CRTs, that space becomes the big problem. It's like again, you'll notice I can't have a lot of big ones. How many? I mean, it's not economical to have too many big ones.
Sure.
Right? It's just it's a pain.
In that same trip, there was actually, I really should go this. A 15 kilohertz widescreen Trinitron.
Oh yeah.
And the lady had it. She was like, I want $80, and I'm like, I'll give you 30. And she's like, no, 60. And I was like, okay. And I literally said to her, maybe you would like it to stay in your lounge room. And I asked her where it was, and she said she's on the 3rd floor, no elevator.
Ooh.
And I'm like, lady, I'm doing you a service by coming and taking this thing away. And that's when I was like, I'll talk to you. I was like, I'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
I'm going to be honest with you. I have heard some incredibly funny stories the last couple of conventions about specifically people telling me the story of them going in and finding a CRT on like Facebook Marketplace and then having to go into like the dodgiest person's house, into their like bedroom that's like dirty, and they're like, all right, you need to get that TV out of here, nobody's helping you. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm like, man, that is scary. Like, because what if there became a serial killer, Lewis?
CRT serial killer.
The CRT nerd serial killer that would like get you over there, get you to move this big CRT, and as you're moving it, they like take out a little knife and stick you right in the kidneys, and you just like, just smash yourself with the CRT and your history, bro. And then they bury you under the trailer, and they put the CRT back on the marketplace and wait for the next nerd. And then they turn you into like some of that scrapple, probably.
Oh, okay. So the murderer in your scenario, the murderer is the owner of the CRT, and it's the bait.
Yeah, and that's the
for
bait.
nerds like us who are going to come. It's basically nerd bait. Come and get your CRT. Oh, that's a big Trinitron. Oh!
Yeah, and then like, and it tenderizes the meat. You do it like while they're walking up the stairs. You know, from like the...
oh, yeah. But then you don't want it to drop it because you want the...
Yeah, well, that's what you want. You're like, oh, go carry that. And you like, and then like they roll back with the CRT over them. It tenderizes the meat ahead of time for you. You know, you're getting like a little bit of a tenderization going.
All right, I need a little toilet break.
All right, yeah. So there you go. Think about that, folks. Huh? Right? Baiting your nerd with a CRT listing. Yeah, it starts to get really tough to try to get those things, places for them, big ones. What a question. You like Huie Lewis? Who doesn't like Huie Lewis in the news? Come on. I mean, that's the genius of sitting here. I don't think people really realize how you get two people together that haven't been, well, this is our first time hanging out in person ever. But you really miss out on a connection you can get with just hanging out with somebody that spitting off back each other and just keep going. Just keep going. Oh, yeah, there was the guy, right? The guy who was walking around. The hero. The hero everyone needed. They didn't even know it yet. There was a guy a couple years back. Before, I think it was pre-COVID, he would wear a CRT on his head around Virginia, and he would leave sets on people's doorsteps in the middle of the night. And that's it, like the CRT facing the door in these upscale neighborhoods. Pretty funny. Yeah. A lot of talk going on in that one. Yeah, James, I'm going to tell you the truth, man. There's a 2005, he said, locally for $2,500. James Boone, that is a bit much. And if you already own a few OEV 203s, you are fine. Because all you really need to do if you want to get that other experience, a new CRT, is to get a high-res monitor that just doesn't do 240p, that you can get for cheaper. A PC CRT. Because you could get the nicest 4x3 PC CRT for... sometimes you can find those still for cheap, under $200.
You talking about Snuffer? This one?
Hey, I didn't even tell you this. We were laughing about certain things. I heard the funniest advertisement on the terrestrial radio when I was driving up to pick you up. And I'll just mention it here because why the hell not? It was pretty funny. So I'm driving up, and I'm getting closer to the... border of West Virginia. And Stephen Norton, you brought this up. You said West Virginia. It reminded me of this. And I start hearing this obnoxious, like, old-style DJ voice on the radio for the ad. Oh, yeah, hey, what are you doing? Oh, wake up! Are you ready for... Oh, gosh, what was her name? Fancy Nancy or something like this, right? Are you ready for Fancy Nancy? And it's like, what the heck is this? And it was, they were advertising a gentleman's club, like hardcore, talking about, we have arena seating. We have the major overlook balcony arena. We have a parking deck. It's the only gentleman's club in the tri-state area. Because I was thinking, I don't even think Virginia has very much any strip clubs or anything like that. So I was like, oh, and it's in West Virginia. And they keep going on, and they go, Fancy Nancy is the world's most famous little dancer, coming in at 2'10" in height.
Wait, they got midget dancing?
Yes.
Really? That's a thing?
So that's two. Yes, and I mean, like, going all, come in, Valentine's Day special, gentlemen. Come and see Fancy Nancy get down at only 2'10". That's the only gentleman's club in the West Virginia tri-state area over here at Big Dick's Honky Town. Come see Fancy Nancy. You know you want to see a 2'10" dancer. And I was just blown away. That's pretty much how it went. I think I got this poor girl's name wrong, but that's probably a good thing.
First of all, we just want to shout out before we go on with the story. Jake, thank you, sir, for your $5. We appreciate that. And James, with your 10, good to see you stateside, Zez. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I am having a good time. Thank you. Steve is an excellent host. We're having a good time here, and I really appreciate so many of you come out today. 60, 70 of you watching. Thank you for that. Okay, so there's not many strip clubs in this region.
I don't even think. No, here, Jake had. Okay. Let's get. Jake said, I have 7 CRTs now, thanks to Evil Steve. Just bought a 34 HS510 this week. Oh my goodness, my back still hurts. Do you guys use or even like HD CRTs? I have. I don't even mess with them much. I mean, I know that people might. I love analog. That's just, and that's kind of like my comfort zone. I stay in that personally. So if it's my choice, I'm staying away from it. I don't like a lot of the things that you get from an HD CRT. And again, this is just a personal preference thing. I'm not sure. What about you on an HD CRT?
Okay, first of all, we want to thank Delusional's Arcade for
Absolutely.
$20. Thank you very much for that, sir. Yeah, we
You're
have a
not
bunch
left out, brother. We'll get you on here one time too when I'm getting back in the streaming thing.
Ariel, yes, I am sleeping on that bed. I'm sleeping on the downstairs here in the bunker.
Sleeping on the other side of this wall
Right there.
in
It's
the
fine.
legendary bunk bed that we posted on Twitter, right next to the 1960s. How is that refrigerator? Is that pretty badass refrigerator?
Fine.
I mean,
no
it's
problems.
cool.
I had a good sleep. It's very solid. One of those refrigerators that's meant to last. Now, I want to go back a little bit there. I said a word that you shouldn't say, and this has been a common trip. Instead of little person, I said a word that you shouldn't say. An excellent pointing out of that. Because now, I have noticed definitely people in America, for the people that I've been around, use this sort of colorful swear word language a lot less. And I'm an Australian, and I'm sure a bunch of you know, we let it flow very easily. The words, the C word, the F word, these are all regular things throughout a day. And then where I live in Europe, in Estonia, everyone speaks English, really great level of English. And they know the F word, the C word. They know all these things are horrible words and you don't typically say them. But because they're not native English speaker, it doesn't hit with the same emotional meaning to them. They know it's bad. They don't necessarily want to hear it, but it's still a different emotional level. So even if I'm in Estonia and I'm hosting a conference, it's a big conference, there's 1,000 people in front of me, I may still drop an F-bomb or two throughout the day. I use it to emphasize a point. Maybe I'm telling a personal story, and it's fine. Like it gets
It's
like
not,
you don't
yeah,
want
it's
to
not
overuse
the
it.
end of,
You don't overuse it. You just use an emphasize point.
It's different where you're like you're
Different
showing that.
things.
Yeah, there's different
things. So I'm
regionally.
used to just being able to say a bunch of stuff in Estonia, and no one really
And
has
then
the
you
same
come
problem.
to the Mennonite
Here.
farmers market and you say a couple F-bombs and everybody's like ready to call the sheriff on you and
Right.
get you. Hey, son,
And as I understand,
hey, these folks down here are still using horse and buggy. They ain't used to that kind of colorful language from the big cities.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll need you to slow down with that Australian serpent's tongue you got there, homie. Okay.
in Steve's house, they've got a like a swear jar, similar. And
I forgot about that.
I'm already a few bucks in the bank. I'm already a
yeah.
few bucks down.
My daughter
at the house.
loves you because she's like she sees you and she's like, oh, let him talk. It's dollar signs.
Yeah,
Cha-ching.
she's just making
So,
a profit off me.
Let me ask you if this is a bad piece of parenting, okay?
Okay,
Are you familiar with Adam Sandler movies, right?
sure.
Little Nicky is one of my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with this movie where he plays the devil's son?
Familiar, but I don't remember the specifics.
Well, he plays the devil's son. It's really cartoony, hilarious, a lot of goofy stuff in it, and I really enjoy it. It's one of the ones that's not, it's not Billy Madison, it's not Happy Gilmore. It's one of the other ones. Adam Sandler's character's real goofy, he's awkward, and he's like the main character. But I'm like, I want to watch this with, and I was like, well, I'm sitting with Ashley, my 8-year-old, and I'm like, let's watch this movie. And so my trick to get her to watch these movies is I tell her, I give her the swear jar template for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not very good sometimes but I have to take down the money, right? So I'm like, every time you hear a swear word in the movie, you're gonna get a quarter.
She gets paid.
She gets paid, and that's the way I can get her to actually want to watch a movie that I want to watch. But it's a bad movie with bad words in it, so I sit there. I've done it twice. Okay, I did it with that movie, and then over Christmas break, I did it with Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
And so each time I had to pay out about $5.
Right. So the intent is that she doesn't like to hear these words usually.
No, the intent is she's just laughing about it, and again, it's like, if you say it, that's the consequence of it. But at the same time, I would tell her, I'll pay you to keep you engaged in this movie.
Okay, that's the
and
intent,
not complain
yeah.
about going and not wanting to watch it because it's.
Okay, it's a little bribery to get her through watching this particular movie. It could be anything. It could be every time
Right.
Adam Sandler goes or something. It's like a drinking game, but with your children.
With your kid and you're giving them quarters.
you're
It's
paying,
bad. But is
yeah.
that bad? Yeah, is that a bad thing? Is that
No,
funny?
it's fine. It's a little fun thing. Yeah, actually, some people in the chat. Okay,
See,
fair
they know.
enough. Fair enough. I would never say the N word on stage.
You better
no,
not.
No, absolutely not. I will say the F. I wouldn't say the C on stage. I wouldn't say the C. I would say the F on stage, but even in the regular conversation, I absolutely wouldn't say the N word. We're far away on the edge of the empire, but we're not that far away. We know the N word is not a very nice thing to say. I'm just going through the chat here. So many interesting things here. Zez ain't getting cancelled. No wonder. HR lady from where I work in Australia, and she sometimes dropped the F-bombs. Yeah, we love it.
It's just different cultures, different places.
Different cultures, different
And like
places.
I
So
was
I'm trying to fit
laughing.
in. I'm trying to... And already, like last night, after I was down a few bucks already on the swear meter, I'm catching myself. I get halfway through. I don't know if you noticed already, but I get halfway, I go, shh, okay.
Yeah, there you go. You already changed your...
So I'm already learning.
You already changed your behavior. So...
Right, I'm about to get shaken down by this little elementary school chick. So
funny.
She's coming for me. She's noticed.
Good fellas.
She knows where she's going to get money
No,
from.
it's usually stuff that's like, most of the time, I'm like, trust me, this is a good movie or something. It'll be like, The Goonies, right?
Okay, it's a good
Who doesn't
movie,
love
sure.
The Goonies? I mean, The Goonies is classic, I think. I think it could still hold up, and it's fun to watch, and so, I don't know. Anyway, so there's all that. I don't know what so here's something else I thought maybe we could try to do that while you're in town, and we'll see how this goes. But we can go see what's happening at the flea market things.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because this place is like loaded with flea markets, which I'm not sure that they're called flea markets probably where you're from. I'm not sure what, sometimes they call them swap meets.
Sure, we understand that terminology.
okay.
Yeah. Not so backwards.
Such a weird thing, right? I remember when I was a little kid and my granddad was like, you want to go to the flea market? And it just sounded so repulsive.
Right, they're fleas.
Right. That's what I was like, what the hell? Why would anybody call something a flea market? And I'm sure I bet there's some like
Okay. But this
urban legend to it. Like it was originally a place where you would go and it would be really cheap stuff. And it was probably like gypsies and they probably spread a bunch of fleas once or something. And it's like, I remember the flea market.
is this a permanent setup or something?
These are permanent. These are the ones I was telling you about when we were talking about the opening a shop.
Right.
Remember?
Oh, yes.
These are the
We'll
kind
talk
of
about this.
locations. Brandon Arnold mentioned that we looked cozy at the dive bar. Yeah, we've talked about that a little bit. That's a really fun little place. I mean, it's definitely got that dive atmosphere though, and it's tiny.
That place we're in last night. Yeah, so we've got some options. So to summarize some of the options, we're going to do something around here. There's the CRT bunker tour, which I'm going to try and make that video in the next couple of days. Then we got the storage room. We can take a look around there as well. That's another one. Then we could go to the flea market. That's a good one. We were thinking maybe Costco. We got to get some Costco hot dogs.
Yeah. You can go check out the Costco madness. Actually, we could do that after we get off of the show.
I would like to go. I just want to go to American capitalism centers and see all this stuff. I know he hates Walmart. He's like, it's terrible. I'm like, yeah, that's why I want to go.
The Walmart's a different story. I've been to some, I was telling Lewis, I've been to some ruthless Walmarts.
Ruthless? Isn't it ruthless?
Well, when you go into St. Petersburg, Florida to go to Walmart with your kid and there's giant piles of human excrement in the parking lot and not just one, multiple.
As I have learned, well, the car parks in this city either have horse crap or person crap.
So it's just a matter of perspective.
Who's getting tied up there? Ariel, I'm going with a few people here. Snuffer, electricity, don't have it, mate. Russia cut it off ages ago. We're living in the dark. Don't know what it is.
You got a giant hamster wheel in your basement.
That's right.
That everybody just takes a 6-hour shift
Just
on.
me and the president.
And somebody just jumps on it.
And then
when it's your 6 hours, you got to just bite the bullet and run on the wheel. Keep that.
Ariel A says, no, we don't have Costco. We don't have such big. Maybe we got a massive hardware store, but not like there's a big supermarket, but not not with true American girth and width and just the size. I just love being in Walmart for the size of this thing. When you walk in and it's just shelves and they're high and they're everywhere. And I mean, the Costco's got those really high shelves, I understand, right?
Yeah, the Costco is like the
like the back of an
ultimate.
IKEA,
It's literally
right,
a warehouse storage center, or I mean shopping center that's like a storage warehouse. Shelves with pallets on top of things. And everything you buy is the size of your suitcase.
I know. I wish I could take more stuff. I've got 2 flights. I'm flying from here locally back to Atlanta, and my flight back to Estonia is out of Atlanta. So another suitcase is always an option, but I would have to pay for an extra one to Atlanta and then an extra one from Atlanta home. So look, if there's something good, I've only got a kilo or a few pounds, no, less than a pound, maybe something like that left.
Are you serious?
I'm at 40, well, I'm at 21, 22, and I'm about 23 kilograms.
In your carry-on?
Right. I've got, and the way that I did it.
How many carry-ons are you allowed to have?
1.
Okay.
So I've just got my backpack, and that's okay. So I got my backpack, and then I've got 1 checked-in thing. And it's also full of stuff because I wanted to get my girlfriend a gift, obviously, because I'm a nice guy. But all I said is to my girlfriend, make an Amazon wish list, and I just click buy on that. It was about $120 or something. Great. Awesome. Done boyfriend duties with 1 clicking of the Amazon buy now button. You know, I don't need to.
Easy way out.
Yeah, my
there.
other buddy's like, my girlfriend wanted me to buy a purse or a nice, whatever, a perfume.
Gosh,
like,
those aren't $120.
I got no time for this. Yeah,
and
just if she puts it in an Amazon wish list, it will be ordered.
I remember I used to work with these guys for BASF Chemicals, and the thing I figured out with them pretty early on, these were sales guys. They were probably pretty shitty husbands, right? Sure. So they were like, oh, Steve, you don't know about the Coach store or the Dooney and Burke store? And I'm like, what the hell are these things? And they're these, purse stores where you go spend $1,000 on a purse. And I'm like, why the hell would I ever buy that for? And then they're like, oh, I know why. You guys are probably always in the doghouse. So you guys
so they know.
Bailing out, buying your wife all those fancy purses.
Who knows?
But then I was like, yeah, no more.
Eric was asking, do you have all these big stores in Australia? Sort of. Maybe in the middle of Sydney, like really big things. But it's more that Walmart is just an institution on its own. Like, it's a classic. And again, all these things that I see in movies, TV, media, pop culture, that think, I'm going to the Walmart. I know I sound a little bit like, coming to America and like I'm about to buy 10 pair of Levi jeans and take them home and sell them to some guys on the street back in Eastern Europe.
We'll probably have to go late at night because that's when the real crazy stuff happens and like the crackheads are out.
Is it 24 hours?
Oh yeah, they're 24 hours and there are, there's some, it's like a zombie fest of rednecks. So maybe that's what will happen one night. That would be much more fun than going during the daytime.
Okay.
But we'll see what opportunities show their lovely face.
So we've got stuff coming up. So we're gonna go out, do a little filming this afternoon.
Yeah.
Film some stuff, see some things.
We gotta go pick up the kids again.
Oh, yep. Then basketball, then Sunday. Right.
Yeah. So
good, man.
Yeah. So hey guys, let's. I think that we've been going for about an hour and a half here. What do you think?
We might wrap it up.
Let's wrap up this stream. I want to say a special thank you to everybody that gave all the super chats. Yes. That was awesome. You guys did not have to do that. And we really appreciate that. We will go out and the place that we will use all that is the basketball game because the beers are $9 there. Robcat, thank you, man. $20 to add on top of it.
Thank you very much. It's really very nice that you would help us out. Appreciate
you both. That. I'm truly enjoying this.
So we'll have a few beers. We're gonna enjoy some Americano. We're gonna get some more food for more time. I'll get some chicken, maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see what's around.
This is actually Chicken Land too. You can go around and see some chickens. If you haven't seen any chickens, they're like more chickens coming out of this place. Like, this is Chicken Town. That's another thing. You'll see the chicken plants right next to things.
We're getting into the Chicken Town. But there's a lot of actually smell. When we were downtown, there's a lot of smell of manure.
It's manure season.
It's manure season.
It's manure season.
So there's a lot of poo-poo around the place. So wherever you go, you smell this. And it's great. It's very countryside.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, like you literally will go. When I was taking my kids to school there are giant semi-trailer trucks that have tanks on the back of them, and the back quarter of them is just covered in like, it looks like 8 inches of mess, of just turds. And so you know that they these trucks, they go in and they fill the tanker truck full of manure, and then they go out to some farm down the street and they just spray it all over the field, and it smells like, man, people are dropping in Master Safer with the $10 Enjoy America
Thank you, Master
experience.
Safer. Thank you, sir.
So, yeah, that's the fertilization season that we are going in. So we're getting ready for grow season.
Let's go.
There's nothing there. America the poo-poo. There you go.
Let's do it. All right, let's wrap it up. Everyone,
guys,
thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, pay attention. We'll be back. If you just came in late, go back and enjoy. We've had a great conversation here. It's been a lot of fun. Kind of a chill stream, but I think we had a good time.
We had a good time. Thank you. I really appreciate that you guys are so interested in this stuff. It's really amazing to be here with Steve finally, and to be on this side of the camera. So, I'm overwhelmed with emotions. Let's go have a good day.
All right, guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next thing. Have a great one.